My name is Andrea Damone Brown, and I started in the adoption world in 1992. I help birth moms that have an unplanned pregnancy who are just trying to decide what they want to do, and I go over their what adoption looks like, answer their questions about adoption, and then I help adoptive families that are considering adoption to expand their family.
Well, when I met Rachel, I knew she had this passion in her heart, and I really liked it. I never really considered it much in my childhood, and I really enjoyed hearing the stories of her family and friends being adopted.
I've got two cousins that were adopted, and I had friends that were adopted. And so, as a young child, I knew that adoption was just going to be part of my story.
I was very nervous about how that works, what all's involved with that. There's lots of surprises involved. There's really no way to know what's going to happen.
Well, a coworker actually told me about this agency. She connected me with Andrea.
So I met this wonderful family, Brad and Rachel Powers, and they signed on with me and waited a certain amount of time, and God provided their birth mom. She chose them. I called them from the hospital. It was a very last minute adoption.
You're just kind of like, you're flushed, right? With this emotion of like, it's happening. It's finally happening. But we've got a lot to do before we can bring her home.
Our family and our church family and our friends all helped us. If it was not for our family and church family and our friends, we could never have brought our babies home.
Yeah, we had people bring by, donations of clothing and diapers and stuff to get everything stocked and ready. And there was such a tremendous amount of peace surrounding that chaos that we all just knew what we needed to do. And we did it and brought Lizzie home the next day.
And then a couple of years later, their birth mom got pregnant again. And I surprised them with a phone call they were not expecting because they were not in line for another baby. But I always try to keep siblings together. So it was a little bit of a surprise, but they were super excited. And they said, well, we weren't expecting this, but we're going to do it. We're going to go forward. So they trusted the Lord, and where he guides, he provides. And they were steadfast in their faith, and the Lord did provide for them, and it was beautiful. So they adopted their second little girl.
And God continued to provide through prayers, through generosity of church members, of our family, people constantly showing support in this endeavor as we were still questioning the abilities of God. But he did come through. It was a community effort to bring Katie home. And it was such a wonderful testimony to the generosity of our family and our church members and our friends that I have never witnessed before.
All throughout Scripture, the Old Testament through the New Testament, is our adoption story as children of God. And if we choose to adopt, that's just an example of what God has done for us.
I think it's really important that for the congregation, even though they themselves may not be in a position where they want to adopt, it's so important and vital to support those that are called.
It was huge to know that our church family loved us and supported us enough to help us adopt another baby.
Knowing you're not alone in this process is monumental.
The truth of the matter is that there's over 70,000 children that need a home in the state of Texas. This is our job as a Christian, is to love children because they matter to him and they should matter to us.
For us, it was so worth it. Everything that we went through, the waiting, the questions, everything was worth it. Everything was worth it.